DnS, he's honestly a really good player. We were praising DnS a lot in 2023. I think DnS like semi-retired for a time and stepped away from the game, and then last year he came back, and DnS really did thrive in WTL. Last year in World Team League, when he was on Platinum Heroes, he was the MVP. He was the ace player of the team. It was very impressive to see DnS thrive on the Platinum Heroes. And then the Platinum Heroes, they picked up Firefly. Their team got a little bit more well-rounded. DnS was a little bit less in the limelight. And this season, this most recent season of WTL, he switched over to Berserker Esports, where he was able to once again reprise his role in WTL and did quite well for himself. Here we go, we're jumping into game number 1 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court. We have our French Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Berserker Esports. It is DnS. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the opponent, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. Again, Shameless, the young up-and-comer, throwing down the juice box, as he always does. Shameless recently turning 18, I believe. He turned 18 like a month or two ago. It was a big moment for him. Again, he's achieved quite a lot this year and has really made more of a name for himself. For a long time, Shameless was more of a ladder hero and, you know, more active, not even in the online tournament scene, but just, you know, more so on the ladder or on maybe some team leagues here and there. But really did kind of break through and break into another level here in 2024. Has been really cool to see his growth as a player over the past year. But we'll see how he compares. We'll see how he compares as we're jumping in, and if you're in the chat, back, get your gamba going. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series and advance on into the next round. Best of luck. As a reminder, the predictions are for the series, not for the game. It's for the entirety of the best of 3. Here we go. So now it's going to be 2 gate openers all around. 2 gate opener here out of Shameless, 2 gate opener out of DnS. Do you have DnS being a little bit more aggressive here with double Stalker, meanwhile Shameless being more macro-oriented with Stalker Sentry. Again, Sentries, they give you a lot of defensive capabilities early on. They allow you to force field, they allow you to scout with hallucination. Sentries are the bread and butter of like early game PvP. But DnS, he's doubling down. Double Stalker into Stargate. Okay, DnS is going to be the aggressor. He's going to double down, he's going to be the aggressor this game. Shameless is going to be the defender instead. Shameless finishing up the pylon block, but again, there's no expansion anyway. It's Stargate into Oracle. Into aggression. DnS will expand. It's not a one-base all-in by any means, but aggressive nonetheless from DnS. Shameless back at home, going to be throwing down his own expansion. A slightly faster natural base for Shameless, and Shameless does open up Robo. Very safe opener out of Shameless. This will give Shameless early immortal production, so if Shameless was up against an all-in, and Shameless hasn't even scattered the expansion, so it could be an all-in, Shameless will be safe against that kind of move out, that kind of commitment. Meanwhile, here comes Hallucination into the main. Stalker's poking in. Oh my god. DnS almost does get the sentry. Hallucination does confirm that DnS has expanded, so now Shameless knows it's not an all-in. Now Shameless, he can even delay the immortal and go for an observer first and probe up. Shameless likewise confirms the oracles and the Stargate. Shameless should be getting ready in the main. Should be. The main base is looking exposed. Oracle's on the way. Shameless does keep up. Just try to. Shield battery under fire. Oracle diving into the main. Just 2 stalkers. And DnS does get 2 probe kills. A decent start, but that is a lot of hull damage dealt to the Oracle. Oracle takes a lot of hits. Second Oracle on the way. Oh, is almost caught out. And 2 Oracles can one-shot probes. Shameless going to be in a bit of trouble back at home, but he's actually moving out. He's committing. Up. Oh, doesn't get the Adept. A bit of a misplaced force field. Doesn't lock it down. Adepts a shade past. We have 2 Oracles for the main. We have 2 Adepts for the natural. Probes are going to go down. I say that. Shameless is ready for it, though. He doesn't wall off. He does not wall off the ramp. Instead, he's committing across the map. Goes down the force fields. Probes are going down. DnS having to pull the boys. And again, Blink isn't done. Nowhere near for DnS. So force fields, they look down the army. Shield battery goes down. And does Shameless have enough? Does he barely? It's 4v4, 4v3. Yeah, Shameless, he does break through, takes out every single stalker. DnS, he's racing back home. More boys being pulled. And DnS is doing critical damage, 13 probes going down. Back at home, the adepts were cleaned up. And Shameless gets another stalker. Up! Casito, almost. Almost gets another. Another stalker does fall. Oracle still fighting damage. Getting one more probe. Oof. Yeah, DnS just cannot keep up. Down to 2 stalkers, losing even more workers on the low ground. Yeah, DnS getting punished for being overly aggressive. As he just did not get much done across the map. Likewise, the shield battery was a little bit too little too late. DnS, he will hold though. He will force back the army. Losing another stalker though. Oh my god. Shameless, he wants it. He wants the stalker. Calm down. Oh my god. He's gonna lose the stalker as a result, but he will chase down DnS. At least try to. Oh my god, the SimCity. Trading 1 for 1. That was worth it in the end for Shameless. Barely. And looking at the trades, Shameless losing 5 stalkers, 11 probes for 16 workers, and 8 stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. More importantly, back at home, Shameless has a massive lead. 40 probes. Has a massive economic lead here on 2 bases. The only thing we have to do is survive the counterattack. DnS, he's pretty all in. DnS is committed, or he's committed. Blink is done. DnS has micro potential. But remember, the Robo Opener, we have Immortals. Shameless, he has Immortals ready. He's just ready for the all-in. With the Immortals of Link Stalkers, they do nothing. They do nothing at the natural. DnS massing an army. Just trying to break through, but now we have a second Immortal. Yeah, with the help of 2 Immortals, Shameless, he's not going to be broken. There's no shot. The Oracles have potential to maybe catch a mineral line, but alas, Shameless is ready. 3 stalkers in both locations, both the natural and the main. And the Immortals, they break out. Oh, they punish the stalkers. 3rd base now on the way. Shameless getting further ahead. These Blink Stalkers have to find some damage. Either a stray Immortal, some stray units, some mineral line. Something. But they can't. Shameless, he's ready, man. He's Shameless. He's in position. DnS taking his own 3rd, later than his opponents. And Shameless is going to be stuck at home a little bit longer. Basically, Shameless is waiting for Blink. His own Blink was a little bit later, of course. It's just now finishing up. +1 is on the way as well. Gateway Explosion. DnS going for the dive. Doesn't quite break through. Oracle goes down. Shameless does defend. But next, the 3rd hallucination confirms that DnS is expanding, so Shameless now knows that there's no 2-base all-in. Shameless can breathe easy. Likewise does confirm the timing of the Forge, so Shameless knows he has an upgrade lead, which is why Shameless doesn't actually have to push out until he finishes up +1. Shameless, he knows he's safe enough to just wait for +1. Wait for the upgrade. I mean, he's still looking solid anyway with those Immortals. As he's fully saturated in 3 bases. And now moving out. Oh my god. As the Oracle tries to go in. It's denied. Shameless moving out across the map. +1 is almost done. A couple of seconds away. Is being chronoed as we speak. And we'll finish up in the middle of this fight. Shameless, almost bleeding out a Stalker. More reinforcements on the way. Yeah, going for the Robo. The Robo's exposed! And the Robo is going to go down. Mortal is denied. Overcharge gets popped. DnS does have the defense advantage, but +1 is now done for Shameless. as he has the upgrade lead, he has the immortals as well. And even with the overcharge, Shameless, he can still break through. Peeling off, going for the mineral line. Probes are going down. It could even deny +1. As Shameless is gaining ground, points are being pulled. GG gets called, and Shameless will take game number 1. GG. Very impressive there by Shameless. Able to almost be in control of that entire game. There was potential, definitely. There was potential for DnS, as he was opening up with Adept Harass, with Oracle Harass as well. But DnS was unable to find any damage, any real damage. Was able to get like a probe here and there, but not much more than that. And what was most impressive, if you remember the early game, was Shameless's counterattack with double sentry, with I think it was like 5 or 6 stalkers in total. And even though he had so little to work with, so was DnS, right? DnS, he had spent resources on oracles, on adepts. His ground army was lacking, his shield battery was late, and Shameless was able to achieve so much with so little. Did do crippling damage in the early game, and with that, snowballed into a win. And now we're getting ready for Game 2. We're jumping into Game 2. Going to be loading into, once again, for the second time this week, or for the second time tonight, this week as well, I guess, in a way. For the second time, 2,000 atmospheres. Let's go. Let us go. We are going under the sea. And this map is quite large, but also has a lot of proxy locations as well. We'll see if we do make use of that in some way. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have the French Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Berserker Esports. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is DnS. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, representing Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. We go. And Shameless does have a nice lead so far, but a lot of it was because of the failed aggression of DnS. DnS, he did open up quite assertively, and there was a lot of pressure on DnS to get damage done, was unable to, and was punished as a result. I'm sure we'll see maybe something a little bit different out of DnS. Meanwhile, Shameless, with this lead, has the opportunity to be aggressive himself. Could turn the tables on DnS. Probe Scout is coming in. What faces? 2 Protosses in one match. Oh no. They're all over each other. And it's going to be 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of Shameless. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of DnS. 2-gate openers all around. Everything's looking standard. DnS is looking to hide his pylon as well, so a bit of a cheeky move here by the Red Protoss player. Don't think has any intention to commit to a proxy, but is set up for a fake proxy pylon. The pylon has been placed. Again, Shameless with this Probe Scout will confirm that, hold up, your pylon is missing. What exactly is going on? And the hope here for DnS is to try to force an overreaction, or to force some inefficiencies out of Shameless, trying to make it look like he's cheesing when he isn't. A second pylon is in the main base for Shameless. DnS coming in for the Scout. And DnS opening up Stalker Sentry. So a standard opener here out of DnS. Meanwhile, Shameless opening up, interesting, Stalker Adept. Okay, not quite the combination I was expecting here. And he's scouting. He's scouting with the scouting probe. He's looking for that pylon, and he will find it real quick. Oh my god. Very fortunate for Shameless. The probe, I believe, should come across the pylon. I believe the vision should be far enough. Oh, there we go. Pylon is scouted, and Shameless can now breathe easy. He now is fully aware that it is a standard opener from DnS. Is aware. Back at home. Ooh, it's going to be a Stargate before expand. As I mentioned, I mean, Shameless has the opportunity to be aggressive this time, and he is. With the Stargate, should be an Oracle. Should be an Oracle first, into a second Oracle as well. DnS is going to be the first to expand. So now the roles have been reversed. Last game, initially DnS was the aggressor and Shameless was the defender. This time, the opposite. It is now DnS's turn to defend. Hallucination moving out. DnS trying to get a read on whether or not there's an expansion. the tech of choice. Hallucination will not be denied. And we'll dive into the main. More importantly, should get eyes on the Stargate. Should get eyes. There we go.
I am here in the shadows.
Hallucination does confirm. Shameless moving out. Up against sentries, has to respect them. Ooh, as a shade is denied, Adept goes down, and we do lock down the initial Stalkers. Very nice catch. And DnS, he shuts down the Adept and the Stalker, and he scattered the Oracle. And DnS is getting in position. Shield battery almost done. Stalkers as well in the mineral line. So far, so good. But that's still so much damage being dealt. That is how many? 21 probe kills! 21! 23! Observers on the way! But this is critical damage. Oh my god. DnS being forced into an all-in. DTs are still wreaking havoc. DnS down to 23 probes. Observer has arrived. But the Invisible Man is just too much. At the same time, the third base is being hit. Shameless just pulling DnS up, retaking his third base. Getting to his own additional gateways. Forge on the way for +1. Looking at the units tab, we have a comparable Stalker army, 12 versus 12. And DnS, he doesn't move out. He doesn't believe. I don't know if I do. But DnS, he doesn't commit to an all-in. He is probing. DnS, he's resaturating, which means the longer this goes on, the worse it is for DnS. Because Shameless has a greater economy. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. DnS just now getting saturation on his own third. In a mirror matchup, this is brutal. And DnS confirms. The hallucinations, they confirm the production. On top of that, I mean, if Shameless is too passive, true. Like, if he's too passive, if he takes a 4th and gets a 2nd Forge, and I don't know, he just stays at home, then DnS can then recover. That is also true. But Shameless is moving out. Stasis traps on the right-hand side. DnS getting saturated. So Shameless is going to be one step ahead in the tech, in a sense. Like, as DnS supply block for a moment there. Breaks out. 4th base getting saturated. And Shameless, instead of pushing in, he's just trying to contain. Just containing his opponent on 3 bases. War Prism on the right-hand side. Shameless getting ready for a dive. There we go. We were waiting for the charge lots. Gonna try to pull DnS apart and charge lots into the main, and the main army towards the third, or even the natural. DnS does have some Stalkers in position. Can try to hold. Drop comes in. A massive Warpin as well. We try to focus on the Prism. Up! Warpin finishes. Prism goes down, but the Zealots, they do bust in. They're going for the shield battery. DnS should be able to defend. At the same time, thanks to the Observer, DnS is still in position. So far, so good. DnS is holding. Forces back the army. Oh, into a concave though. Has to calm down. Shameless does have +2. Zealots in the main still wreaking havoc, but will be cleaned up. Oof. And DnS bleeding out some Stalkers though. Does bleed out Stalkers, defends the main. And Shameless behind this, working towards +3, getting another expansion. I'm still waiting for that kind of death wall of a Zealot army though, to embrace more charge lots. Instead, Shameless going for another counterattack. Zealots morphing in. So instead of incorporating Zealots into his main army, he's going for Zealot counterattacks instead of run-bys. Charge now done for DnS. Temple Archives as well. Archon's going to be on the way. Shameless is pushing in. Now up to 4 Immortals. Honestly, this army for DnS against purely Blink Stalkers, like, I kind of want to favor it. 100%. With 4 Immortals, Pappy. That's an army. Against Zealots, it's a little bit different, but... Against purely Blink Stalkers, I mean, Shameless had the opportunity to tech up into something like Disruptors, for example. and opted not to. Shameless looking for a way in. Swords, spots the Archons. I mean, the downside, because of the game state, DnS has been stuck at home the entire time. Like, he can't expand. Like, there's no shot. He can't take a 4th base. He can only be defensive, which is why I do think that Shameless missed an opportunity to take up. Catching Stalkers, not bad. Gets one. Not quite the second. But whether it's taking into Disruptor production or taking it to Sky Toss, like either one would have been ideal. But now we're in this kind of game state. And even though Shameless is maxed out, like the quality of the army is better for DnS. The composition, I should say, is better for the Red Protoss. Same time, Zealous, they do hit the 3rd. And DnS doesn't have anything to defend. It's a numbers game. He just cannot defend. Mineral line goes down. We'll have a decent trade here when it comes to the main army engagement. Zealot's going to be force back. Prism into the main. Once again, though, DnS is in position. Shuts down the Prism. Very nice defense. Good defense so far. Ooh, and Shameless, he's committing. Zealots once again on the right-hand side. Mortals once again trading well against these Zealots. Shutting down a lot of them. So many of them, even. We're going for the dive. Shameless, +3, kicks in. Does focus down 1, 2 Immortals. There's 1 Immortal left. Alas, DnS will force back the army. Does hold. But we have reinforcements. Reinforcements are on the way. And now here come the Charge Lords. This is what I've been waiting for. Zelsay dive in. The Immortal's exposed. The Immortal's going to go down. Archons are coming in the back line. DnS can still hold on. More Stalkers on the way. Again, it's not been the cleanest response here from Shameless, but he's getting there. As it takes a while for the reinforcements to arrive. DnS almost catching up, and at least the attack upgrades. Archons putting in a lot of work, but the Archons are going to be focused down. DnS forcing Shameless back. Shameless has 2,000 minerals in the bank. There it is. As DnS, he sees the reinforcements, he sees the warp in, and DnS will tap out. Shameless eventually grinds him down, and will take the 2-0. GG. Oh my god. But a shout out to DnS, because again, he was doing well for himself. Like, he was stuck at home and stuck on 3 bases, but he was able to build up his Immortal count, build up his Archon count. Again, Shameless, I don't think recognized how far ahead he was. As a result, he didn't really take up too much. Sure, he was ahead in upgrades. He had like 3-1-1. He had shield upgrades and armor upgrades and attack upgrades, of course. But was staying with a gateway composition, so it was very low tech. It was a very cheap army and very low tech as well. So because of that, DnS was able to hold on for as long as he did, but over time was pulled apart. Over time was unable to protect all of his mineral lines and unable to freely expand either. GG. GG, well played. Shameless will take the series, and Shameless will advance on. Congratulations. Congratulations, Papi. Shameless will take it. And again, impressive stuff, considering that DnS, you know, he's been a veteran of the region, a veteran of the European region for many, many years at this point. And Shameless is a newer face on the scene. Very well done, very well played. Very impressive performance here out of Shameless. And I wish him the best in the upcoming matches in the rest of OSC mid-season playoffs. Best of luck. Best of luck. Yeah, Bobby got. Wait, first Quacker? Oh my god. Oh, wait, what happened? Was Oh, was the stream going down? Oh, I apologize. I apologize. I didn't notice. Oh. Sorry, I was engrossed in the game, and I did not notice that the stream was cutting out. Oh, that's a shame. Oh no. I was just casting. Yeah, apparently like 10 minutes ago or so. But yeah, I do apologize. I did notice that apparently the stream kept dropping. For whatever reason, the stream has been unstable tonight. It's normally not like this, but yeah, specifically tonight, it's been cutting in and out. So I do apologize. I just straight up didn't notice. Oh, smurge, Papi, smurge. I was working for like 4 or 5 minutes and it calmed down. I mean, yeah, that's a bit of a shame because we were up to like 200 viewers and now we went down to 64 because I imagine everyone left because the stream was dying. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. We lost most of our viewership, but so it's a little bit sad. So a little bit unfortunate, but regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to Shameless. Yeah, I apologize for those that are just now tuning in. We just wrapped up. GG. Thank you for those that did stick around, though. Thank you for those that did stick around for the end of the broadcast. GG. But yeah, with that, so we are wrapping up here. We are wrapping up for the night. And yeah, I don't know. Specifically, it's not even like the internet. It's the connection to Twitch was being shaky. Like everything else was fine. Everything else is as it should be. So I do apologize. Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to Shameless for taking the series. Oh, that's gonna be a nightmare to edit as well. If the stream was dying on us, then I'm sure a lot of extra VODs have been made. Not Twitch though. Twitch should be one whole VOD. But hopefully YouTube is okay. Regardless. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here tonight. So thank you so much for those that did stick around. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our next broadcast. Also, I did mention that we were going to be going over the bracket here. I don't think it's been updated yet. Let me just double check. Somewhat updated, somewhat. But yeah, the event is going to be lasting, I think, a week or over a week of play. So a couple of weeks actually. It's going to be lasting a couple of weeks. So do tune into the other broadcasts. It's not just going to be here on the CranKy Ducklings, but Wardy and Steadfast and Chicken Man and Dave Testa and many of the other regular OSC casters are going to be covering the OSC mid-season playoffs over the course of the next month. So make sure you tune in, regardless of where the stream is. Regardless of where the matches are, do check them out. Do support OSC. They do so much for the scene. They do so much for StarCraft 2. So much love to OSC. And yeah, best of luck to all those that are competing and all those that are going to be covering the event as well. Oh, best of luck. Otherwise, if you want to tune in to some more CranKy Duckling action, I do apologize that usually the stream is more stable than what it has been tonight, so I do apologize. But you can check us out on all the social medias. You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon as well if you wish. Patreon is set up. You can see it just underneath Shameless's name. The Patreon is set up to fund our tournaments and help grow our events as well. So events like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. They're all funded by the community for the community as well. And you can help grow it if you wish via Patreon. So that is the place to be. When it comes to our next broadcast, less than 24 hours. In less than 24 hours, tomorrow we're going to be live with something special. We're going to be live with the Pondcast. It is the return of the Pondcast. It has been a very, very long time since the last Pondcast. Let me just quickly double check. Let me just check YouTube. Where are we? Podcast episode 12 was March 11th of 2024, quite some time ago. Before that, it was February 26th of 2023. That was the Podcast episode 11. The first Podcast was when? 2018. So it's been a while since we've had like regular podcasts. If you're curious, what is the podcast? It's just a bit of a talk show, or I say talk show. It's a bit of a podcast related to StarCraft, of course, where we just go over you know, events, go over some recent news, go over things that are happening in the scene. We used to more recently have them to kind of as a bit of a pre-show and a bit of an introduction to EPT, especially when it came to the regionals that would come in. So, for example, for EPT Latin America, we would go over all the qualifiers, go over all the players, you know, talk about the up-and-coming players and the players' state of play coming into the regionals as well, to see who to keep an eye out for and stuff like that. We did the same thing for the Oceania region as well. I remember at the time, whenever we did them, a lot of the EPT casters were very receptive and very grateful, just because a lot of them don't cover a lot of those players, so they were able to, you know, like catch up on them with the podcast and then be able to cast them during the regionals themselves, covering players like Oreo and Eggs and NXZ and people from Latin America, North America, and Oceania as well. But instead, this time we're just going to be going over the most recent events, of course, like WTL and EWC, and yeah, just having, you know, a bit of a discussion and going over stuff and having a bit of a recap. And we're going to try to make it a weekly event as well. We'll see how it goes. We'll adjust the format as it goes as well, and we'll do our best to replace what has been long gone. You know, like, it's been what, years since we had the Pylon show, years since we had you know, the late game and meta, and there just aren't any more SC2 podcasts anymore. There used to be plenty. Remax was another one. Used to be plenty back in the day. They're all gone. They're all gone, Pappy. They're all gone. So yeah, we might bring that back. Another reason why we're bringing it back is because we're free to do so. Up until September, we've been casting on a daily basis, and September moving forward, there's now some free time, there's now some free days in our schedule, so we have time for a talk show. We have some time. Let's go. That's gonna be the plan. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Tune in tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. And yeah, with that, we'll see you guys mañana. See you guys tomorrow. Oh. Do you play a main race? Zerg, Pappy, Zerg. I do ladder streams elsewhere. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Otherwise, see you when we see you. Until then, hasta luego. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ciao, Pappy, ciao. Thanks for watching.